Hi, thanks for clicking on my blog. Happy after Halloween and happy 1st of November when we're shooting this, but it's probably going to be about November 6th when you view this. My name is Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and a senior wine and spirits specialist at ABC Fine Wines and Spirits in Sunrise, Florida. I dread it. I dread it. I dread this time of year. No, nothing to do with any kind of holidays or anything like that. I dread it. It's off wine, the subject. I dread daylight savings time. I hate it. I hate it. I think everybody, your friends, my customers, my family members, everybody likes springing forward. Nobody likes falling back. Who wants daylight to go away at 4:30 in the afternoon, pitch black? It's depressing. I even did some research years ago. Do you know it's up to the state governor whether or not we participate? And many states don't, like Arizona, because the governor doesn't want to participate. It's all we do. Get the governor, whatever state you're in, to stop this falling back and just keep springing forward. You know, it could be wine o'clock, but we know in our heads it's 2 o'clock, okay? But that's our secret. Now let's get back on track. Around this fall season, in other climates you're in, even in Florida, where we have a little cooler nights now in the 60s, 50s, or maybe even lower coming in, people start to think about Burgundy wine. The problem is the confusion is created by products that are 3 liters or products that are box wines that say, and I'm going to give you an example. We have our own, but there's brands that say here like Burgundy. You see, that says red Burgundy, so people assume that's a type of wine made in California. Okay, we have our own. We have Capri. A lot of people buy these wines. A lot of restaurants use it as their house wine, and that is Burgundy. But again, this one's made in Canandaigua, New York. Burgundy, a type of wine people think causes a lot of confusion for sommeliers and wine retail specialists, consultants like me. Here's one that says Chablis. People go, I love Chablis, or I hate Chablis. They think it's a grape. It's not. Also made in Canandaigua, New York. So let's try to talk about what real Burgundy is. We touched upon it a little bit when we did the originals of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. I'm going to show this sign that is in our section. And I'm going to make it really simple, because that's what we do here, is I'm your everyday wine guy to make it simple for you. There is a region that says here, French Burgundy. What do you mean, French Burgundy, like a Burgundy wine? No, a region. So for instance, if you lived in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from originally, if you're in Flatbush or Midwood, if you're in Canarsie, you're still in Kings County, Florida, New York rather. Kings County is the county. So that's the area with little villages or cities or towns. We live here in Florida. Right now we are located in Broward County. Okay, so the analogy is that the state of Florida or the state of New York or the state of Colorado, wherever you are, the state of North Carolina, where Mecklenburg County and counties like that, so the state would be equivalent to the country of France. I want you to think like Florida equal France in the country. Broward County would equal Burgundy, the region. And the little villages or the names of the towns like Charlotte, Huntersville, Matthews in North Carolina. If you go here in Florida and you go to Fort Lauderdale, you go to Deerfield Beach, Miramar, you go to Davie, all those cities, those are villages or cities, and villages called in France, but they're still in the same county. And the villages in France, in the Burgundy region, which is equivalent to Broward County, you have different villages. But the key to remember is Burgundy is not a grape like in those 3-liter wine. It is a region. And what they put on the label is the name of the actual village it came from. And as it says in this sign, it says there's only 2 grapes. If it's the color of the wine is red, and it says whatever the name of the town, if it's from the Burgundy region of France, it is Pinot Noir. And if it is from Burgundy region, any village that it says, and the color of the wine is white, It is benchmark, as it says on the sign, benchmark Chardonnay or textbook Chardonnay. Chardonnay 100%, as you know, America only requires 75% of any grapes that are on the label except for Oregon Pinot Noir, which I might throw a little kick in there for Oregon. It shares the same geographical parallel with Burgundy, France, so that's a good thing, you know, 45-degree parallel. You got the same elevation, and that's why Oregon and Burgundy have been compared, but there is not a wine. It's Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Let's give you some examples. Entry level. Entry level, $13.99. This is from Burgundy. It says a wine from Burgundy, France. However, it is from the village or the area of Macon, Chantray. It's white, as you can see. It's 100% Chardonnay, not overly lactic, not overly alcohol. Burgundy, white Burgundy. And by the way, white Burgundies, when they get on the higher level, can last 50, 60, 100 years. I don't think American Chardonnay would store or keep that well. They get better, white Burgundies, as they get along. A good example of different ratings, because there are certain vineyards in these villages that get rated by the council that directs that, as in Chablis, let's say, or in the town of Pouilly-Ficey. These are all villages, not a type of wine. Remember, if it's white Chardonnay, red Pinot Noir, they get to say which part of the vineyard is a Premier Cru, a village wine, which would be like the mass-produced stuff from that village, and then the small part of the vineyard or certain vineyard are designated as a Grand Cru, the highest level of Burgundy, but they make very, very small amounts of that. The perfect example here is with Moutarde Diligent. This is the village wine. It just says Chablis on it. It's white. Guess what the grape is? That's right, 100% Chardonnay. Not like that big bottle of Chardonnay, I mean Chablis rather, that said Chablis. There's no Chardonnay in this stuff. It's just Chablis. We don't know what it is, and it confuses people. Chablis is a wonderful village that I've stayed in, and their hotel, your address would say Chablis, France, in the region of Burgundy. So that's the village wine. Then they go up higher to the next part. This is the really highest level. This is from the Bourgros vineyard. This is a Moutarde Diligent Chablis, but Grand Cru. Grand Cru. Other producers besides Moutarde Diligent can use that grape from that vineyard and call it Grand Cru, because the French government in Chablis, under the control, designates which 20 vineyards are going to be Grand Cru. And that vineyard, the Bourgros vineyard, is one of the Grand Crus. $48, but this will drink, and this wine could last 60, 70, 80 years and will still be in great condition for 48 bucks. This is Chardonnay at its finest. Also some other ones from Maison Champy. This is from the village of Meursault. Now you start to get where the Macon Chantry or the entry level is just good with maybe oysters or shellfish or light. This is start going with fettuccine alfredo, buttery lobsters, or even hearty meals or turkey with dressing and things like that. Meursault has a little bit more toast, a little bit more oak. In Chablis, they don't hardly use any oak. So there's a different purpose. It's still 100% Chardonnay, but the color of the wine's white, but it's from the village of Meursault. Now we get into the reds. We get into the reds. I have here, like here, Pommard. Pommard is a beautiful village, a beautiful town in Burgundy region, but the wine is red, which means, what's the red grape? I'm questioning you. I hear you. Did I hear somebody say Pinot Noir? That's correct, 100% Pinot Noir. No blending, it's 100% Pinot Noir from Pommard in the region of Burgundy. So a red Burgundy, when somebody says I want to drink a red Burgundy, it's not the 3 liters of the box wines. It's, I'm going to take you to the Burgundy section. You're going to be drinking 100% Pinot Noir. Sauvignon Le Bon. It's a 2012 Sauvignon Le Bon. That's a great, I might buy that to myself. That's a great value for drinking. I might drink that around the fall time myself. Sauvignon Le Bon, 100% Pinot Noir. Now, I do want to bring up 2 points here. One, or it's actually the same point, but if they come from multitude of villages and it just says Bourgogne, There's a white and a red. They will put on the front of the label, which Americans love. That's why they buy these more than the ones that just say the village. It says Burgundy, but underneath, as you can see, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. So you will see that on a general Burgundy. That means it doesn't come, the grapes do not come from one specific village. They just come from the region of vineyards in the Burgundy area of France. I mean, I hope we clarified that, because Burgundy is such a wonderful thing, and when I tell people I drink 1962 Burgundy, they go, how could a red Burgundy, you know, my Carlo Rossi wouldn't last past a week from now, and they don't understand that, and it's very confusing. It's very confusing for us in a wine store when you say, show me a Burgundy, that's what I want, and then you wind up going to the Burgundy section and going back and back to the 3-liter section, and then I have to explain all of this. Hopefully this will get rid of some of that confusion. By the way, from last week's blog, people are asking me about South African wine. Thank you to the people who are following my blog from South Africa, who are winemakers or importers. It seems to be working. They all agree there's some great wines from South Africa. Australia we did the week before, so the blog is working. I appreciate the followers. You can put your name on the front page and follow this blog, which makes me available to you in many different ways or shapes or form. Any question you have on wine, just by putting your email and hitting follow this blog. For further information about any of these wines, you can search. Some of our other stores may have higher levels of Burgundies or Grand Crus. If you're looking for a special gift, go to www.abcfws.com. So remember, Burgundy is a region, 2 grapes, Pinot Noir if it's white, and Chardonnay, Pinot Noir if it's red, and Chardonnay if it's white. Until I see you again next time, remember, and that's why I do these videos, that wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me. And stop daylight savings time, please.